Marriage Story is directed by Noah Baumbach and stars Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver. And this is a pretty early review. This movie is actually not out until December, technically, on Netflix. But it is out in select theaters starting November 6th. And I actually got to see a screening of it a few days ago in New York, and I thought I'd talk about it a little bit. This is the story of Charlie and Nicole Barber, played by Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, respectively, who have had a very happy marriage. They have a kid who is really sweet, and they have the greatest family traditions ever. But things have happened over the last few years that have started to take a toll on it, and they are in the throes of a divorce. And so now they're having to deal with a lot of different aspects of what to do now that this decision is about to be made. What happens to their kid in terms of custody? Where does he go now? I'm a fan of Noah Baumbach. I've loved pretty much everything he's ever made. He's a really good director, and he has this consistent filmmaking technique where he takes a story which is very emotionally affecting and sort of decides to play it in a way which is more dark comedy like taking something sad and making it somewhat funny. It makes it very human in that way because there are multiple emotions like that attached to when we hear bad things. You know, there's a huge thing about diffusing humor in times of tragedy so that people can find better ways to cope with it. And this film has some of that because while this is a devastating look at a marriage that is just crumbling apart, this film also has moments in it which are funny and heartfelt. And the film really delivers on those perfectly thanks to his assured writing and direction. Once again, he's done a really great job here. And one of the things about him that is so great and continues is his direction of actors. Once again, he has directed performances beautifully. These are some of the most realistic performances of 2019. They feel like real people. After a while, I completely forgot that these were characters being portrayed by renowned actors. And that is great because it led to them giving some of the best performances they've given in their careers. In some cases, the best one, in that case being Scarlett Johansson. I think this is easily the finest performance of her career. In fact, there's a scene with her, which is, I think, one take pretty much. And that scene is honestly should be her Oscar reel. It's a wonderfully done scene. And Adam Driver also gives one of the best performances of his career in this movie. Both of them, like I said, have to convey some very real emotions, and there are scenes where they convey that almost to the point of intensity. There's an argument scene between them inside a house, which is one of the most intense scenes I've seen in 2019. It's kind of like you could cut the tension with a knife. It's every word is dangerous in that scene, and they played it expertly. And also really great in this film, though, and should not go unnoticed, is Laura Dern. She plays the lawyer that Nicole hires, and her performance is terrific here as well. A fantastic supporting character. Yes, there are other great aspects to it, like it is a beautiful looking movie. The cinematography is gorgeous. And there are those things to praise. Even the editing, because a lot of it, like I said, had that dark comedy element to it. It does have sequences cut just in the right ways. But more than that, this film relies on it being an acting, writing, and direction piece. If one of those does not work, this film doesn't work. And that's every Noah Baumbach movie in a lot of ways. I'm actually curious about one thing, though, because of that argument scene I brought up, and even the one take with Scarlett Johansson. I want to just wonder, I just want to know, how many takes did they do? Because Noah Baumbach actually filmed the Meyerowitz stories at my college. And I was there for some of that filming, and I even met a couple of the actors, and I briefly ran into him, Noah Baumbach, personally. But more than that, there was a scene that they were filming over there where they took, I think, 60 takes. And it's a scene that takes place in daylight. They shot that one scene pretty much all day. And I think in the final film, which is on Netflix, I think take 5 or something was used. That means there were 55 takes after that were not used. But it's just something surprising to me because I know he takes a lot of takes for any scene that he's directing. It's actually a very stark contrast to Clint Eastwood, who reportedly has like a 1 take, 2 takes tops policy. More than that, that's it, we're moving on. He runs a very tight ship, basically. He thinks if you can get it, you get it. So yeah, there's some contrast to be made there. But that's a general question I have that has no bearing on the overall quality of the film. But clearly, he chose the best takes for this movie because each take is flawless. The performances are just so well realized in this film. In every scene, in every kind of scene, even in the humorous scenes, and even in the sad scenes, and just it's just a masterclass in that way. And I really have to show that as an example to people who want to do serious acting. Like if down the line there's a film, people come over and say that what's a good film to watch for performances. I think this would be one of the films I recommend. It's not a flawless movie, I would say. I think the only thing that I did have issue with is that at times the film does drag. Now, granted, this is a film that is dealing with very serious stuff, and I'm not expecting it to be like a fast-paced, intense film. But at the same time, I thought certain sequences went on maybe a little longer than they should have. And there were a couple of moments in there which I think could have been trimmed down a little bit, just to keep the pacing consistent. Because sometimes it did meander, and I kind of wanted to, get to the next part immediately. Because at times the film goes for these very intense moments, and it's in those moments that you think that this film is going to elevate itself in pace considerably, and it sort of doesn't. And I think that was something that was a bit lacking. But that's really it. Aside from that, this film is really great. It's a really good job, and the performances, I keep saying, perfect performances all around, especially the little kid too, does a magnificent job. The direction and writing by Noah Baumbach, fantastic. I highly recommend this movie to you guys, if you guys have a chance to see it. Like I said, it is out in select theaters starting the 6th. If you can get a chance to see it there, do go and check it out. Otherwise, I guess you'll have to wait for Netflix on December 6th. I'm gonna give Marriage Story a 9 out of 10. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Look forward to tomorrow for my review of The Irishman. Looking forward to that. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe. I'll see you guys at the movies.